Naked Shamanism. Welcome to With Insights Radio. I'm your host, Iggy Garcia. I will take you on a journey across the universe through shamanism, metaphysical, and holistic. So sit back and relax and enjoy the show.
How's it go? Iggy here. Just wanted to touch base with you guys here real quick. Mind of Iggy. So, where do I start? First of all, I want to thank everybody for coming out to the drum circle and being with us on Sunday and jamming and having a great, amazing time and doing what we do and enjoying what we do and enjoy. And, you know, it was fantastic. It was amazing. The energy was just off the hook. It was something that I can't describe in person. I mean, you have to be there in person, sorry, in order to get that feeling, that emotion, and that vibe that we were all feeling that day, and just how just the ebb and flow of that magical moment in time. Now it was just fantastic. Pretty amazing to experience that. It's not every day you get to experience a drumming like that. So those of you who missed out, I'm sorry. You probably had other commitments or you didn't know. We do our best to share. We do our best to pass along the information, pass along the times and dates on Central Ohio drum circles. And sometimes we do a good job and sometimes we fail, because that's part of life, right? But anyhow, I'm here to talk. I'm kind of been perusing around the internet a little bit and watching different things fold out. And then I see this Met Gala thing. $30,000 a ticket is my understanding, to support the Metropolitan Museum of Art. I have nothing against art. I have nothing against museums. I find that art is a way to express ourselves. It's a way to say, hey, this is what we're doing. But I did notice something that I thought was kind of interesting about that event was most people, I mean, I didn't really catch anybody, but most of the guests weren't wearing masks. And most of the guests weren't in their uproar about doing what they need to do, what's right for everybody. But all the employees were wearing masks. All the women were wearing masks. All the things, I see a picture where they say equal rights for women, and then all the women in the background all have masks on. Yeah, some of you might think that's petty on my part. I'm thinking, you know, if you're gonna like do this event and you want people to be safe or whatever, you whatever you're thinking you're gonna do, okay? It just shows a double standard of society. It shows a double standard that some people are okay not to wear it, and some people are okay to wear it. I personally, you know, don't wear mine. I don't feel like I have to. And if I want to, I wear it. You know, that's my choice. And depending on the situation and the place. But I don't know. Right now, America doesn't look like America that I grew up in. I'm 54 years old, and some of you are older, and some of you are younger, and I know that we're in a crisis of sorts, but yet we're able to see people hobnobbing and doing their thing. I went to a game yesterday, and people weren't wearing masks. We were all out and about. Maybe, you know, why? Because people are done. People are done with that model. Or whatever is trying to be mandated on us. A lot of us just aren't going to do it. And, you know, you're probably thinking, well, what's a pandemic? It's this and that. You know, pandemic of the mind, pandemic. It doesn't matter. People don't like to be confined to unjust things. Okay, sometimes things that start out good, all right, some things that start out with a positive intention is turned and manipulated into something that is could be harmful, you know, socially, mentally, and create a lot of awkwardness and create a lot of separation. And right now, that's what I'm seeing right now: a lot of separation, a lot of awkwardness, a lot of mistrust. You know, in the beginning, we were like, it was almost like everybody's right to ask if you were vaccinated. It was everybody's right to ask if you took the jab. And, you know, quite frankly, It's nobody's freaking business to ask you anything about your personal health, period. You're not exempt because we're in a so-called pandemic situation, okay, to ask me or anybody. Even if I was or wasn't, I wouldn't tell you. So if you know me, if you don't know me, well, you're going to get to know me now. I will not disclose anything about my personal life to you that has to do with my personal health. This is my physical body. This is my mental state. Belongs to me. It's endowed to me by God, from God. God gave me this body, gave me this mind to work and to use. On the same token of how everybody else says that their bodies are theirs, and they have the right to say what they want, I also have the right to say and choose what isn't put in my body, what I want to take in. If I choose to do something and put it in my body, that's my choice. That's because I'm an adult. I have free will to make that decision. My free will now be tampered with because someone thinks it's a great idea and someone thinks that we have to do if we don't do it. Listen, it may sound awkward to you coming from me because I'm so holistic. I'm so metaphysical. No, I'm a human being. I'm a man who happens to do certain things and has been gifted with certain abilities to do certain things. It doesn't make me Superman. It doesn't make me powerful. It just makes me who I am. And I create who I am through this. Now we're treading some really thin waters here. A lot of you don't see it because a lot of you are in different categories and different groups, and you're in different frame of minds about things and how you see the world. But what you don't understand is that there are other people who don't see the world like you. And we either come to an understanding or we don't. Listen, we've lived with polio vaccines. We've lived with, smallpox. We've lived with every virus that we ever had. We've lived side by side with influenza, which kills just as many people in this world, right, as the next thing. Smoking kills people. I live with a smoker. Drives me nuts, but hey, you put up with certain things. But the point is this, we all have things we don't like. And for big government to step in and say, hey, you're going to do this, or we're going to punish you for that. This is what I say. You may think you have governmental authority over me, or others like me, or others who think like me. But honestly, you don't have any authority over anybody. We've given you an authority to represent us. We've given you an authority to speak for us. Some of us speak one way, and some of us speak another way. And you have to find the common ground between everybody. Because everybody jumps off the cliff doesn't mean we all have to jump off the cliff. We retract, we refrain, we do all these different things. So, first time in my history, first time since I've been alive, that I have seen the president muted on his microphone, his feed cut off, okay, and such things, and speaking about things that don't make sense relative to the conference. It leaves me to question, who's running the government? That's why I posted that. Some of you joke around. Oh, yeah, General Zod, blah, blah, blah. The inmates, maybe we're the inmates. Maybe that's what they meant by that. I'm not saying you have to live paranoid, and you don't have to live like every second, but you should question, you should wonder. Who has the authority to turn off the president's speech when he's talking? Now, I'm not a big fan of Biden by any means, so don't get confused that you think that I support him. Some of you think he's your president, some of you think he's not. That's not what I'm talking about here. I'm just talking about in general. Who has the authority and the right to even do that to a sitting president? That's what you should be worried about. The behind-the-scene things, the things that you don't see, the things that you just take for granted because we all watch, we're so desynthesized, because we watch movies, we watch The Matrix, we watch Star Wars, we watch all these things, and so everything seems normal. conditioning. Oh yeah, well they did that in this movie. Oh, yeah. I hear people when they're talking, so it doesn't feel odd. Well, but nobody questions that. At least I haven't heard anybody question that. That's a big concern today. Listen, I watch Fox News and I watch CNN, MSNBC. I watch them all because you know what? You got to have perspective. You can't just be so far one way or the other and try to make a logical decision from that logic where you're in the same pool with the same people. Sometimes you got to jump in the pool. You know, if you're white, you jump in the pool with black people. If you're Hispanic, you jump in the pool with white people. If I jump in the pool with just Hispanic people, well, we have a certain type of thinking. We have a certain type of heritage. We have a certain type of background. And so that kind of takes precedent. So when we all jump in the pool together, black, white, Hispanic, we're all in there swimming. We learn to understand each other. We learn to respect each other, hopefully. We learn to say, hey, you know what? Our differences are different. But doesn't mean we can't get along. It doesn't mean that we can't coexist. But we don't do that. We don't do that. So, when a general admits that he was conspiring behind Donald Trump's back and communicating with the Chinese general, and other people get implicated for it, but he doesn't get implicated, and then he's asking for the nuclear codes. We live in a fantasy world here if we don't think that's not right. There's protocols, there's chains of command. Regardless if you like a guy. If you don't like Trump, I don't care. If you don't like Biden, I don't care. But there's protocol. There's protocols, and these protocols are being broken. That can't happen. That should not be allowed, unless the person is so bad. But then you have to prove that they're so bad, and they try to prove, presidents bad in the past, and some have been impeached and some haven't. Some have been not fully impeached, but but we have this thing that we think that everything's okay, but it's not. We're not okay. I'm here to report to you that I don't believe America's okay. I don't believe America's stable right now. Yeah, it's the best country to live in. Yeah, we can drive wherever we want. Yeah, we can do that. We can go here. But right now it seems like there's a group of people who really want to change that. Listen, when you give something away, you've given it away. When you give a gift to somebody, hey, here, take my stapler, it's yours, It's very rare that you're going to see that stapler again. So my point is this: when we start giving away anything that is bound to our protection through the government, or big government starts to step into state, authorities in daily business, there's a problem. And when you hang dollar signs over them and say, hey, we won't give you funding if you don't do what we tell you, that's a problem. That's extortion. But no one's going to say it because everybody's afraid to say stuff. Our politicians are chicken to say anything against anybody because fear that they may not get reelected, fear that they may say something wrong. I believe that politicians, like congressional and senatorial leaders, should have term limits. I believe they're making way too much money. These guys go in there, they go in there mediocrely with money in their pocket, and then they come out super rich. Just makes you think, how do they get so rich? They have endorsements like Nike and stuff. Are they like sports figures? Listen, politicians today have way too much power. They have way too much power. We've given them way too much leash. I don't even think they're wearing a leash. They're not doing our bidding. People, they tell us we shouldn't call it the Chinese virus. We shouldn't call it the CCP virus. But you know what? They called it the Spanish virus. I guess they were okay with that. Calling it the Spanish virus. It had nothing even to do with Spanish, It's okay to tell the Hispanics that we're going to call it the Spanish virus. Spanish virus. So what's wrong with calling it Chinese virus? What's wrong with calling it the communist, virus? Chinese Communist People's virus. The Wuhan virus. What's wrong with that? Didn't it start in Wuhan? According to whatever the whole world says? Oh, Iggy, you're racist. You're insensitive. No, I'm not insensitive. If it started in Columbus, Ohio, I call it the Columbus virus. Okay? And now we have this vaccine, right? That we're all praising. My friends tell me, you should get the vaccine, Iggy. How do you know I don't have it? How do you know that I do? But I'll tell you right here, right now, I have not virus. If you don't want to be around me, then don't be around me. Because I personally am not going to inject my body to something that I have no clue what it does. Okay? And according to what I heard in the beginning, is that you're going to be safe, you're going to be okay, and shit. Friends are dying because they took the vaccine. Friends are sick even when they took the vaccine. Oh, but now it's not perfect. Oh, no, it's not perfect, Iggy. Oh, there's always... Did it save lives? I don't know. I have no way to prove it. They can't prove it. There's no proof, man, that anything that we're doing is working. Oh, but the hospitals are full of people. No, the hospitals are full with people, but the hospitals can't take more people because you know what? Healthcare workers, according to what I have noticed, are quitting because they don't want to take the vaccine. They're quitting because they don't want to work there. They know. If they know and they don't want to take it, that should tell you something. Okay? They're short-staffed. The hospitals are short-staffed. That's the problem. They won't tell you that. Sometimes you'll hear it from time to time. We can't get health workers to come to California because they have to get inoculated with the vaccine. If a nurse or a doctor who are highly educated, right, don't want to take it, you should ask yourself why. My guess is they're just like me. They don't know what's going on with that thing. They don't trust what's happening. You know? Listen, if I die tomorrow, it's my day to die. You know, I'm not afraid of death. I was at one time. I was very afraid. Now, I'm not stooping going around where there's nothing going on, you know. But I have to have faith, too. I have to believe. You know, I have to believe in what I preach, what I teach, and what I share in the higher source, which is God for me. I have to believe in that there's some power in that. Because my trust in man has not been very good. It's not very strong. It's not very powerful. Okay? My trust in man is not okay. But my trust in my faith in God, my faith in my Creator is very powerful, very strong. I believe and I trust. And listen, if tomorrow's my last day on this planet, or the next 5 minutes is my last day on this planet, I've done what I feel I came here to do. And if I get another day to do and share what I want to do, then it's a blessing. It's a gift from Creator. Yeah, this shaman believes in God. This shaman trusts in the holy. Because if you don't believe in something, you're going to fall for something. Now, do I believe all the doctrine and every piece of an aspect? No. But I do believe that my Creator is a loving Creator. My Creator doesn't punish me. My Creator doesn't send a pandemic on me. My Creator doesn't come over here and kill me. I'll tell you something about Mother Earth that you probably don't know. She's not mad. She's not upset at all. Those of you who think that she's upset and blah, 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 no, she's not mad. She is alive. She's a living, sentient being like you and me. She doesn't need you in order for her to survive. Every time you rape her, strip her, destroy her, take from her, you're taking from yourself. because you're not appropriately using it. The wind blows regardless if you ask it or not. The trees grow regardless if they ask or not. And every day, the sun inseminates the earth with its gift from God. The sun, it inseminates it every day. That's why the masculine and feminine are both important. You can't kill the masculine. You can't kill the feminine. But man has tried to kill. Man has tried to kill the feminine energy. And that's where we're wrong. Because man, all men, even though you give your insemination, your sperm to the woman and part of the process, okay? And you're important too. But I'm going to tell you something. You're here because a woman carried you. A woman bore you. A woman gave birth to you. A woman fed you while you were in the womb. Those of us who are walking and living should give thanks to our mother. Even if we hate our mother, give thanks for life. Give thanks to our father who walked away and he left us. But he gave us life. He gave us, and she gave us the opportunity to make things different. To make things completely different than how we see the world sometimes. You know, sometimes we bite the bitter pill and we're mad and angry because someone abandoned us, someone hated us, someone didn't love us. But you know what? Maybe there's a gift in that. Maybe there's a gift in them walking away. Because you may have become a different person if they were in your life. You may become completely disassociated. You may not be the loving person that you are today if they were the ones caring for you. Yeah, it hurts because you really want to be connected to the people who gave you life. But sometimes it's not the way. Mother Earth's the same way. Every day her babies grow. The grass grows. The trees grow. She turns. The seasons change. She stays constant. She stays constant. The sun stays constant. Every day there will be a night and there'll be a day. Every day, those are constants. Those are gifts. Those are presents to us from Spirit. Saying every day you will have night, you will have daylight. What you do in those 24-hour periods is up to you, or those 12-hour periods. And the earth, the masculine energy of the universe, bestowing upon Mother Earth, sharing, connecting, working together. The plants don't grow without the sunlight. We don't grow, we don't live without the sunlight. But would the earth become something else if there was no sunlight? Of course. But we're not at that point. We're at the point where we should recognize what is in front of us, which is earth, which is sky. In the earth, she's the artist of what she creates. You know, in the biblical terms, they talk about we come from the clay, we come from the earth. It's because Mother Earth made us, created us. In conjunction with Great Spirit, in conjunction with the sun, in conjunction with all the things seen and unseen. You know, yet we become angry. Now, the earth also has its way of protecting itself. It creates things. It makes things. Oh yeah, tsunami comes, cleans out the brush. Oh yeah, it snows over here, kills the bacteria. You know, oh, it's beautiful over here. More trees grow. The earth is a magical thing. And if you haven't seen that yet, if you haven't noticed how magical the earth is, step outside one day and just take your shoes off and feel the ground beneath your toes. The toes beneath. Put your toes on that grass and just push down. And feel it. Feel the energy coursing through you. There is a frequency. There is a vibration. Those who say that there's not, everything's frequency and vibration in this world. If you're standing on the earth, there's a hum. There's a frequency from the plants. When you step on grass, it feels it. You can feel the energy. It's there. What happens beyond that, we don't know. There's a lot of things that happen. But you know, if you think about this, when you drive your car, a power line drops, falls on top of your car. The rubber tires insulate from you from getting electrocuted, right? So, the same thing. You look at your tennis shoes that you have on. They have rubber soles or foam or whatever that insulates you. And then you don't feel the energy the same way from the earth. You gain it in a different way. That's why it's good to walk barefoot from time to time to feel and to connect and reconnect. Now, I know I've talked a lot about a lot of different topics, a lot of different things. But humans, we complicate things. I complicate things. Sometimes I say things, and sometimes I don't say things. And sometimes from not saying things, cause more problems than when I do say things. When you become silent. When you become a person who's inactive. And every person who watches this video will see me in a completely different light. Each person will have a version of how they see me, how they project upon me, and how they project through their filter systems of what they heard in this message today. Each person will extrapolate what they needed to hear today and what they thought was important and what's not important. Each person who watched this video today, pulling from that, will say, Iggy's crazy, Iggy's wrong. Every person who listens to this is going to say, I agree with Iggy, I disagree with Iggy. But I'm not here to ask you to agree or disagree. I'm just asking you here to think about things. This is my mind, what I'm thinking, and what goes on in my head sometimes. Absolutely there's more. Absolutely there's a whole bunch of other stuff in my head. Absolutely. But I know this. Earth doesn't damn you. Sun doesn't damn you. God doesn't damn you. I don't know what God that was written in the Bible who flooded the earth. But according to scientists, because some of you believe in scientists, there are no bones of kangaroos on certain parts of the country. There should be bones of animals that died along the way, buried in the stone. If you can find them, let me know. But we have to trust, right? My personal God is different probably than a lot of yours. My personal God loves me, period. He loves me so emphatically that even when I screw up, he still cheers me on to do better. Because that's in me. I feel that too. So that's how I know I'm made in the image. And I know. Some people don't like to talk about God. Some people don't like to talk about religion. Because everybody wants to get it right most of the time. It's not about getting it right. It's understanding that you're loved or not loved. I'm loved by my Creator. Because my Creator doesn't make junk, like they say. My Creator doesn't make garbage. My Creator doesn't make flawed things. Because everything that they make, however we perceive it, flawed or inferior or broken or different, that's on us. To either bring it into our being and understand it or not. That's up to us to understand that. Either we bring it in and we use it to our best of our ability, or we don't. Some of us are going to be challenged here in the next 30 to 60 days. I'll just tell you to stand strong, stay vigilant, think, be in prayer, giving thanks and gratitude for what you have, not what you didn't get or what you wish you had, because that's neither here or there, and you're never going to get that. If you have 10 toes and 10 fingers, be grateful. If you have a nose, be grateful. If you have ears, be grateful. If you have eyes, be grateful. If you still have some of your innards, be grateful. Because I'm going to tell you, there are a lot of people who have none of those things. Some people don't have their hands, their fingers, their eyes, their nose. I lost sight in my eye because I was doing the things I love. I was in a drum circle. Did I blame God? No, I didn't blame God. I didn't blame anybody. I didn't even blame myself. I didn't blame the bungee cord. I didn't blame the drum circle. It was life happening. And in that moment, I may have made a careless error as I was unstrapping my bungee cord. But other than that, that's all that was. Was I hateful and mad? No, I realized how important my vision was. I realized how I took it for granted. I realized the thing that I use every day that helps me drive and see the world. You know, when I couldn't see, I was scared. Scared of the unknown. I was scared because I couldn't see anymore on the other side. And I was like, didn't know, I was like, you get into these places with your mind. But I have a little bit of vision still in my eye. I can still see some things. It's not 100% like it used to be. It probably never will be. And maybe it will be. Who knows? But I didn't get gratitude for the vision that I have. And now I'm grateful that I have some vision in my eye. I'm grateful that I don't have practically any problems with my health. Even as chubby as I am, I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful to God. I'm thankful. Because I believe. Because I trust the process. And I believe in the process. I believe in my mind. If I create it in my mind, it will manifest itself outwardly. I believe that. I truly believe that. I truly believe that my eyesight will regain and come back. But my eye is not the same. But I'm still grateful because I still have some vision. I can still see when I open both my eyes together. I can still see. I can see the camera. I can see my friends. I can see my loved ones, But you learn to adjust. You learn to adapt. And that's what humanity is. Learning to change and adapt. And I guess right now is what I'm talking about. Is just learning to change and adapt. Even in this time of uncertainty, we have to learn to change and adapt. What else do we have? If you're going to just follow everybody off and jump off the cliff, good luck with that. If you're going to just be a lone wolf, good luck with that. Or even the lone wolf watches and observes. Because the lone wolf still has to eat, right? The lone wolf still has to live amongst all these other things. It's not like you're just isolated. So right now, we're doing the best we can. But, coming from a place of gratitude has been a big change in my life. Being grateful for the people that have been in it for a long time or a short time. Just being grateful and understanding. Because, sometimes we can get angry with people because they don't see the world the way we see it. And the worst thing you can do is just kill some relationship because someone doesn't see the world like you do. Honestly, to begin with, I never saw the world to begin with like you did prior to meeting you. They already were in their own thoughts and ideas about things. The only thing that changed and shift are ideologies and beliefs of things that are external from what you guys both relate with. Good example, when Trump won, how many people alienated and cut off friends? How many people alienated and cut off friends because Biden won? It happens both ways. How many people said that you were this or that because you're associated with this, And people say you're this or that because you're associated with that. This isn't Cleveland Browns playing Cincinnati Bengals, guys. This is not about absolutes here. This is also about understanding human nature and understanding why people would think. If you would take time to understand why someone thinks the way you do, they may take time to think about how you think. But we're so easy to it's so easy to just cut people off. So easy to say, I don't know nothing to do with you. You don't think like I do. If it's innately in your system that it has to be that way, then you do it. I get it. But some of us have some very amazing friends. Sometimes they don't always know how to express their feelings. And they'll say things to you. They will hurt you. They will turn you. They will frustrate you. But somebody in the relationship has to have some control here and here to understand that this is temporary. This is how they're feeling right now because of the situation. Right now, what's going on? I see friends angry at friends because of all this vaccine drama. I call it vaccine drama because it is vaccine drama. It is. You call it what it is. No one calls anything what it is anymore. Sure. But I tell you, and I'm going to tell you right now, if something was to happen to me, I'll tell you, it was my destiny. Could I have stopped it? I don't know. There's no way to prove that. There's no way to share that, to find out if it was or wasn't. It doesn't matter at all. Because we all have a destiny. It's to be born and to die. How we experience life in the middle is basically up to us. And who we share our life in the middle with is basically up to us. What events, what situations we keep in our lives, it's up to us. How we want to foster and grow is up to us. It's all up to us, how we want to experience life. We're the only person who can control how we feel about life, what life means to us. Only us, only you, only me can feel it in a fearful, loving, traumatic way, or whatever way you want it to feel, or loving and caring, endearing way. This talk, you feel however you feel about it. So my friends, I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm just telling you, enjoy life. Let's see. Give me a calculator. Let's say I have 36 years of life left. Multiply that by 365 days. I have 13,140 days to live on this planet if I wanted to live to be 90 years old. That doesn't seem like a lot. 13,140 days in my belief where I want to move. On a world that's been here billions of years, that's nothing. 13,000 days. Wow. Something to think about, isn't it? Kind of crazy. All right. Yeah. Got a drum circle coming up this Saturday at Griggs Reservoir. I think it's at 5 o'clock because the sun goes down, so I made it a little bit earlier than usual. And then next week we have Schiller Park. That'll be the last Schiller Park one. Then we start to move into indoor venues. So, all right, guys. It's good to be here. Ho'oponopono, matakuyasin. I love you guys very much. Just do the best you can with the time you have and the moments you have. And let's just keep it real. Let's just do what we can for one another. Love each other. Honor each other. Give thanks to one another. Humanity needs all of us in order to make humanity a better place. Granted, we know there are people who are going to make different choices than us. They're going to make choices that we're not in alignment with. And we're going to make choices that are not in alignment with them. But regardless, humans are humans. Most humans in general, I'm just going to speak with a blanket statement, are loving and caring people. They love someone and care about somebody, if not themselves, you know. All right, guys, you take care. Peace out. I will see you next time on The Mind of Iggy. And listen to my podcasts that are coming up here shortly. And I will talk to you guys soon. Be well.